of the house operations and front of the house operations. What is the importance of linkage? A linkage is defined as organizations na nakikipagtulungan sa ibang organizations with formal contract. This can be partnership or merge. Tinutulungan din nito ang mga organizations to keep up with advance in pertinent fields and give access to wide-ranging sources of up-to-date information within each area of the organization's work. 8. By having a single unfying team such as convenient or speed. The unfying team of life gives an idea kung paano nag-aambag ang bawat isa sa mga teams na ito to the connection and interactions of living organisms and their environment. In saturated markets, convenience and fast fulfillment becomes critical factors. 9. By having designed features and check that will ensure service that is reliable and of high quality. It is important to assess service quality so as to improve customer satisfaction and loyalty. The aim of this research is upang makapagsuri kung gaano kalayo ang mga gaps based on the actual versus the perceived expectations of customers. Quality designs makes your business brand mas lalong mapagkakatiwalaan. Mas makakapadali para sa customers na pumili based on the quality, lalo na kung mas maraming iba pang website. And good quality marketing materials can make a great impression in which na mas makakatulong to build trust with your customers. Why is that quality design is important? Quality design renders everything with intent. Ang pagkakaroon ng good quality design helps a potential customers to understand who your company is, what you do, and why they should choose your product or service. Ginagawa rin itong mapadali na ma-access ang iyong product and services so that it's easy to convert a potential customers into a repeat client.
So next we have the challenges of service design. So first, we have variability. So variability, sinasabi dito na customer requirements tends to be variable, meaning nag-change ang wants, needs, and requests ng mga customers. So since nag-change ang wants, needs, and requests ng mga customers, problem siya sa service design because once needed and requested siya ng customer, hindi naman lahat ng services available at that time. So for example, may salon ka and full na siya. There's this one customer na biglaan pumunta and not scheduled. So problem siya sa business nyo and sa service design kasi hindi naman siya ine-expect. Unlike, kunyari, ako nagpa-schedule na magpa-hair spa for Saturday. So, hindi siya challenge kasi ine-expect na siya ng business and nakaplan na siya. Next, we have services can be difficult to describe precisely and are dynamic in nature. So, services can be difficult to describe precisely kasi services depends on the customer. So, magkakaroon or mag-offer ka lang ng services once may customer na gusto ng service mo. Next, they are also dynamic in nature, meaning nag-change siya, especially when you encounter customers directly. Examples are personal services. Kunyari may nag-call sa'yo na sa salon mo, gusto nila magpa-home service for your hair spa. So, this is a challenge kasi kunyari full na yung hair spa, wala ng personnel or na mag-offer ng service. Since may large number ng customers na dun sa salon. And hindi naman nila kaya mag-offer ng extra service kasi nga wala ng taong or wala ng personnel na gagawa nun para sa customer. And also, because of this, hindi na aligned sa service design kasi sa mga unexpected circumstances.
In this part, we'll be talking about the guidelines for a successful service design. Successful service design ay mahirap ma-achieve kasi in the first place, market is always changing and customers are insatiable. Maaaring ang particular na product or produkto ay gusto ng customer ngayon pero after months or weeks on using it, iba naman ang gusto. And Ang purpose ng guidelines na ito is to have a better quality of product and service, and another is to have a higher customer satisfaction. So now, here are the 9 guidelines in a successful service design. The first one is define the service package in detail. Defining the service package in a well manner will help you and the customer to have a better communication, as well as the customer will be able to understand what you are providing. Ang key points dito ay ang well-established plan. Kasi kapag maayos ang pagkakabuo mo sa plano, mas better ang kalalabasan ng service or product na pinoprovide mo. Kasi mas ma-execute mo ng maayos yung particular na service, at yung product naman mas maganda ang pwedeng response sa mga customer. Example ay if you are designing a restaurant, ano yung mga facilities na ginagamit mo sa restaurant na yon? And kung may goods kang pinoprovide, mas better kung na-explain mo yon in your service plan. Para smooth ang pag-process sa iyong business, walang masyadong fails dahil nga nakaplano. The second guideline is focus on operations from the customer perspective. In conducting a service, it is much more efficient if you are focusing on your customer instead of your mind roaming around the place. You need to plan your customer's expectation and perspective on the service which you will produce para may mas better na result after implementing it. Kasi, as the slogan suggests, customers are always right. Kapag nagkakandak ka ng service, mas better kung you are ready sa mga expectation ng mga customer. Though mahirap yun i-identify as a provider, but using the plan which you have come up will be able to help you in many ways in dealing your customer. Example is sa mga paayusan ng sasakyan or motor. Once na nagpasok or nag-abot na si mga customer mo, nag-expect na yan na mapoprovide mo si need niya sa sasakyan or sa motor na pinapaayos nila. Then, minsan, may mga hinahanap sinda na parts which they may buy, like mga particular tools. Mas better kung nagpo-provide or nagbebenta din kayo ng mga ganyan sa isang paayusan. Kasi kapag nasa face nindo ang mga expectation na yan kang customer, mas masasatisfy sinda na magbalik sa indo na magpaayos ulit. And on the other hand, another is sa isang bakery. May mga bakery na nagpo-providing service like pwedeng kumain sa kanila or pwedeng bumili ng mga tinapay. Ano yung mga goods na possible na ini-expect ng customer na naandun? Siyempre, the first one is tinapay. Then, may mga tinapay baga kayang hinahanap-hanap ng mga customer nindo. Well, sa lugar namin, may bakery din na ang permi hinahanap-hanap is pandesal. So, every morning, well in fact, all day, ning pag-open nila, is naka-ready ang pandesal na binebenta nila. Kasi nga, yun ang hinahanap-hanap ng mga tao igisa mo. By providing what your customer expect, mas higher yung possible na satisfaction nila sa business nyo. And on the third guideline, consider the image that the service package will convey to both customer and potential customers. Sa pag-provide ng service, dahil lang si customer na yaon ang piga-assess nindo. Bilang isang provider ng service, dapat kinukonsider din ang mga potential customers. Dapat iniisip din na kung ang ginigibo nindo as of the moment ay makakahatid ng improvements para sa better performance ng service duman sa mga customer na pwedeng mag-arabot pa. Halimbawa, sa barbershop, mas mainam na may mga spare kang gamit para every customer na mag-abot, you are not using the same thing that you have used on the previous customer. Lalo na kung sunod-sunod ang mga pag-abot ng mga customer. Mati na palan si mga nagagamit mong suklay or razor, tas day mo pa nalilinigan, iyon na tulos ang ginagamit mo para sa mga nag-aarabot pang customer. Kasi, once na mahiling to kang customer mo, ang possible na response ninda duman is dissatisfaction. And to avoid that, dapat ready ka as a provider. The fourth guideline is recognize that designer's familiarity with the system. Service systems are facilities, processes, and skill needed to provide a service. The designer should be aware na their knowledge with it is different from the customer's familiarity. So, as a designer, you should be able to assess this in order for the customer to use the system well. Example ay facilities or equipment which are to be new to the customer. Like sa mga computer shop, may mga tao na di pamilyar sa mga PC or system unit na iba ang build or pagkakabuo. Mas better kung may mga instruction man lang na naka-indicate kung paano siya gamiton so that your customer will be able to use the PC well and to avoid failures as well. And onto the fifth guideline, make sure the managers are involved and supportive of the design. In planning the service design, managers or the management are already been part of the events that happen. It is just inappropriate when you as a provider will not be able to involve the managers and supporters in implementing the service design which you are providing. Kasi kung nag-implement ka ng isang service tapos parang day-aram kang mga head or managers, pwedeng may mistake kang magibo. Since na dahil mo man lang pig-report sa mga managers or heads mo si mga ginigibo mo sa pag-provide ng service and vice versa. Halimbawa, sa isang photocopy shop, may isang equipment pala na sa duman na dahil pa pinapagamit like photocopy machine. Pero nakalaag na duman, nalingawan lang ipaaram sa indong mga employee na dahil mo na to gamiton. Ta may bagay pang need na ayuson sa equipment na to. Tas you, as an employee, aram mo naman kung paano siya gamiton. E di, binuksan mo and ginamit mo. E di, nagkanda leche-leche si machine. Tas, habang naghahaloy mo siyang gamiton, mas lalo pang naraot like, kunyari, si ink bin, dahil na-refillan. Kaya, always seek support of the head para mag-implement ng sarong bagay sa business. And onto the sixth guideline, define quality for both tangible and intangible values. Intangible standards are more difficult to define but need to be addressed. In service design, quality have both tangible and intangible values, which are part of the process. Tangible are the goods or product which are produced and provided to the customer. Halimbawa is sa bakery, ito yung mga goods which are provided like tinapay. And intangible values, there are two qualities. Technical quality or the means of the service delivery. Kung ano yung service na ipe-perform mo. And the other one is functionality quality or the how of the service delivery. Kung paano mo i-deliver or ipe-perform yung service. It is considered harder because it is the action which are needed to be performed or addressed by the provider in order to have a better quality and performance to your customer. The seventh guideline is ensure that hiring, training, and compensation policies are consistent with service expectation. In a service design, it is just appropriate that the policies are consistent with the service expectation. Pag yung mga practices kasi ay di consistent sa mga service expectation like pabago-bago and once na may mag-abot na bagong employee, edi magkakakos siya ng misunderstanding between your people and the customer. As it have said sa guideline number 2, may mga expectation ang customer sa pinoprovide nindong service. Kaya mas mabuti kung consistent ka mo mag-provide nun para mayong misunderstanding na mangyayari. Halimbawa, sa isang hotel, before, nagpo-provide ka mo sa business nindo ng food sa mga customer nindo. Tapos, halimbawa, tinigil nindo ito suddenly. Lalo na kung mayong pasabi man lang, tas nag-expect ang mga customer nindo ning foods. E di nag-cause na ito ning misunderstanding at the moment. So, it is important to have consistency in your service. And the 8th guideline, establish procedure to deal with predictable and unpredictable events. Designers should also assess and consider the predictable events which are naturally occurring in the course of the business. Ito yung mga nangyayari sa business, like if you are a barbershop, specified for men only, ang sample na predictable events dun is sa mga men ang customer mo. So you'll need to be ready of some equipment na ginagamit ng mga male sa pagubitan, like razor and such. Well, kung in both sexes kasi, you will also need some hair blower as part of your equipment. And in the unpredictable events, which have more possible effect to your business because you do not know that particular event will occur. Halimbawa is a casualties. You need to be ready in this type of situation so that it will not affect you and your business that much. By providing some procedure is one way to help the business to be able to provide some possible solution in the predictable and unpredictable problems which will possibly come in the course of business. And on to the 9th and last guideline, establish system to monitor, maintain, and improve the service. In the decision making, there are the last step there in assessing a problem, which is monitor and ensure that the desired output is achieved. It is somewhat related to this in a sense of monitoring the system so that the service is maintained and can be improved on what should be done to make the service better in the future. Monitoring your service or on how you are performing your service is a good way para malaman kung ano pa ang pwedeng pang i-improve sa service mo. Example is as an internet provider. Gabos man mga kita relate igdi. As a provider, dapat weekly or pwede nga thrice a week nagmo-monitor kung may signal pa bang nakakadating sa pigpo-provide nindo ning internet. Tabaad kung ano-ano ng mga nasasabi kang customer nindo or grabe na po sa social media na tamaliyahon nga ni ang internet ninda. Checking your cables would also be effective para maiwasan din yun nga ang dissatisfaction ng mga customer nindo sa service na pinoprovide nindo. In conclusion, these guidelines may be able to help you as a provider of the service to have a better service to the customer and the higher customer satisfaction. And it will possibly help you to achieve success in your business. And to the last part of the product and service design, we'll be discussing about the operation strategy. Product and service design can be productive in many ways. It will be able to increase your customer satisfaction and will let you and your business to be competitive in the market. There are two key terms in this part of the chapter. It is the competition and the strategy. All of the entities or business want to be as competitive as they can in the market so that they will be able to have sales in their products. We all know that market is a site or place where competition is always present dahil sa dinami-dami ng mga sellers which compose the market. Well, in fact, competition will never leave the market. And to improve your customer satisfaction, here are some operation strategy which will let the customers be enticed to avail that particular product which you are selling. The first one is that aside from the products, you may also consider providing some ancillary services or the provided support to your customers. It is to let your customers be able to have a better experience with your product or service. Auxiliary services are the extended services, in other words, para sa actual na product na ibinebenta mo. Examples is like by providing extended warranties, which will satisfy the customers. We all know naman na as a buyer, mas prefer natin ang pagbili ng products na may warranty, most especially sa mga electric-based product. In a buyer's perspective, kapag nabili baga kitang mga gadgets, halimbawa is phone, mas prefer natin na may warranties ito. Kasi in case na may mangyari sa product na yon, pwede pang maayos without fees. In seller's perspective naman, it may be a liability, but it is one of the strategies so that yung product is mabili. And also para masatisfy yung customer mo. Another strategy is by using multiple use platforms or environment. Multiple use platforms are the act of business in using the one platform or environment in their productions. Using this type of platforms will let you as a designer and as an employee to have a much more reach to the products or service which you are going to provide. It is also much more efficient to use this type of platform. Halimbawa, you are a manufacturing company. Since you are new a manufacturing business, only cellphones ang ibinebenta nyo. Then suddenly, may mga improvements na nangyari and nagkaroon ka ng mas mataas na sales. So, nag-design ka na, bibenta ka na din ng watch or mga relo. It is much more efficient if your productions are the same instead of building again a production site for the watch, which you are going to show or provide in the market. And the third strategy is by using tactics. Tactics is one way to satisfy your customers. Tactics, or in other words, a strategy, like what we are talking about now. It is a way to have a better satisfaction from customer or have a higher sale. An example is marketing. Marketing is a way of letting your product communicate with your customers. It is the main job of marketing managers to plan on how the product which you are selling will be communicated with your customers or your potential customers. And on to the fourth strategy, as the slogan, one step at a time, was saying, it is also a thing where it can be a strategy in service and product design. Monitoring small improvement is better than monitoring or expecting big changes. The word consistency is one key factor here, where being consistent in a way of monitoring your service and products continuously. Halimbawa, ay kapag bago ka sa business and ang business mo is water refilling stations. At first, you will conduct a marketing strategy. How will your business be known sa lugar na pinagtayuan mo? Monitoring your sales or some improvements sa sales will be a big strategy para makadecide ka kung you will improve your service na mag-deliver na ng tubig sa mga households. In that way, mas magiging efficient and mas masasatisfy ang customer kasi yun nga, one call away na lang ang pagbili ng tubig. And mas gustuhin nyo ng customers kasi convenient na yun sa kanila. And yeah, mas tataas yung customer satisfaction mo sa mga customers mo. And on to the last strategy, it is the time. As it has said in our discussion in decision making, time is valuable in the market. Being able to provide the new and redesigned product early on the market will provide you some great advantages. It is so-called the first-to-market approach. Being able to be early in the market ahead of your competitors are a great operation strategy. In a sense na mas madaming customer ang pwedeng makaalam ng product mo kesa sa mga competitors mo. Halimbawa ay ang business mo ay bakery. Commonly sa mga Pinoy, pag umaga, dakol ang tao na naghahanap ng pandesal. So, dakol na bakery ang mabenta kayan to generate sales. Tas ikaw, as a business, you have come up a better product. Kasi aside sa usual na pandesal, you have, nakapag-isip ka na mag-improve sa yung pandesal. Like, nilagan mo ining malunggay. So, kapag maaga mo yung nailuwas sa market, mas madami ang mabili sa'yo. Kasi, ang competitors mo are only selling the usual na pandesal, which is different sa binibenta mong pandesal. Another na saying para i-describe ini ay, the early bird gets the worm. That is some of the operation strategy which can help you in your business. Overall, being ready and providing some strategy before assessing or joining the market is a great way to conduct because it will not just help your business, it will also help your customers in many ways.